Yeah, I bet if I say good morning, you guys will all say good morning at the same time. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your favorite Friday morning activity? These guys right here got it. That was perfect. Everybody else had different stuff going on. I have a ton of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about, so I'm probably going to blitz through a lot of it, and it's going to be super interactive, so we'll just get started. Can everybody stand up and raise your right hand? Yeah, I know. Excellent. Everybody say, I promise to participate. And now grab somebody's hand nearby you in a handshake and hold on to it until everybody is shaking hands with somebody. Everybody needs to be shaking hands with somebody. Find somebody near you. Go grab them. That's perfect. Keep shaking hands. Don't stop. Keep it going. I'm going to adjust my mic stand. All right. You should all have partners now. So those were great handshakes. Go ahead and give them a real business-like handshake. Real business-like. Introduce yourself. Give them your name. Tell them who you are. Business-like handshake. Nice to meet you. Tell you what, give them a high five. High fives all around. And fist bump. Go for a fist bump. And finally, with your partner, your first partner, your handshake partner, your partner for the rest of today, you're going to do the secret handshake that both of you guys know, that you've known for a really long time. You only do it together, and you're going to do that secret handshake with them right now. Go for it. Perfect. Give them an awkward side hug and then go ahead and grab a seat. Awkward side hugs. Go ahead and grab a seat. I work at the Hideout Theater, again. I teach improv comedy. I perform. We do shows every weekend. We have adults that come through for classes at the Hideout. We work with companies in Austin, everywhere. And teaching is primarily what I do, sharing the ideas of improv with anybody, anywhere, because some of those fundamental ideas are very powerful. They're good for doing improv and getting up on stage and doing stuff, but they're also amazing if you implement them in a work environment or in your day-to-day life and relationships. And maybe the core idea, the fundamental idea of improv is failure. Like, it's founded in failure. It's an art form that thrives on you being willing to take a risk, and if you take a risk, you are inevitably going to fail. So if you're not failing, you're probably not taking risks, and we need that evidence. And people come into improv classes afraid of everything. They want to be funny. They want to be interesting. They want to be relevant. They don't want to embarrass themselves. They want to be polite and share space in a nice way and let other people have their turn. They have all these left brain voices, these things that we should be, that we've been programmed with over our entire lifespan, that in improv we want to kind of beat down and encourage people to let go of so that they can start taking risks and playing in that place where failure is going to happen. And we have a few different coping strategies and ways of helping people get through that, of stepping into that risky place and being willing to play in there and figure out what surprising things happen. So first of all, we encourage people to do stupid stuff. You guys have already accomplished that today. Nicely done. And then we start to try to normalize whatever weird feelings they might have around these risks that they're taking and things they might feel or perceive as failure. So if they're judging themselves, or they're worried about other people judging them, or they're cringing internally about messing something up, we have something that we give them, and it's called failure bow. Failure bow. And it comes from the circuses of Europe. Clowns that need to make amazing comedy happen have to try all of these things to be able to get to the really good, funny stuff. So if they mess up, if they're feeling less than amazing about something, they can throw their hands up in the air. They, with a stupid grin on their face, will bow fully at the waist and declare, I failed. Good-naturedly. Looks like this. I failed. And here's the really important part. You guys all go crazy. You clap, you hoot and holler, you stamp your feet anytime that happens. Cool? So I'm going to do one again. You guys are going to go nuts. I failed. And it feels amazing. That was amazing. I'm going to do another one. I failed. And we give everybody that experience. We have everybody take a turn. We don't have time for that right now. But we give everybody a turn, and the whole room claps for them, and all of a sudden, maybe it's okay that you took that risk, and maybe it's okay that you said something dumb in front of a bunch of people that you would otherwise be mortified to do if you were in the real world, and you live your lives avoiding these things, and being careful, and saying the right thing, and doing the right thing, or just not saying anything to avoid that possible failure. But in here, everyone says, yeah, no, that's what we're here for. That's the whole point of this. And it normalizes that thing. So, really quickly, can you guys stand up, turn to your partner, just your partner, that one person you shook hands with, and you are going to admit a failure and take a bow, and they're going to clap very enthusiastically for you. And then they're going to do the same thing. You have about 30 seconds. Go for it. Everybody grab a seat. Yeah. Kind of cool, right? If we were in a week 1, level 1 improv class, then we would do that 15 different ways. We would play a bunch of stupid games that are designed to make you fail, and we would invite you to take those bows, and by the end of that day, hopefully, the mood of the room would lighten up a little bit. People would be a little bit more willing to try stuff. By the end of 6 weeks, you have a bunch of people willing to jump around on stage doing stupid stuff. And that's kind of the key ingredient necessary for improv. I assume most of you guys have seen improv in some form or another. Whose Line Is It Anyway on TV, or maybe a show at a local theater. Austin has a huge improv scene. There's 5 theaters doing training and shows every week. The Hideout Theater has shows that I recommend. The thing that we do is we get up on stage and we don't have a plan, we don't know what we're going to do, we take suggestions from the audience maybe, and then we make theater happen, we make comedy happen, and it's a terrible idea. Like, it's a really bad idea to do that, but because we've gotten comfortable with this idea of failure, it actually works pretty well. When we succeed, everybody in the audience is like, my God, they did that weird, scary thing and pulled it off. They're geniuses. And when we fuck it up, the audience thinks, my God, they are untouched by the fear and shame I would feel in that circumstance. They're magical creatures, my God. So it's a win-win, really. I fell in love with improv when I first started doing it in 2001. The ideas around it grabbed me, and it felt liberating and empowering, and I kept digging and getting more inspired by it. And over time, it's given me lots of cool stuff, and I feel like my relationship with failure has changed in a really big way. And I'm able to cope with a lot of different stuff in ways that I wouldn't have before. Things are easier, things are less stressful, I'm more comfortable in social situations. Infinite numbers of things are easier. But that said, I think that relationship with failure is always there. There's always things that you're struggling with. I help run a business, the Hideout Theater. I run the education department. Other people run other parts of it. We have to get together for meetings every week. And just like any business, in those meetings, people get uptight and weird and controlling and all the things that we do because we're afraid of failing, that we do because we're afraid of sharing that control. So in that environment, we have to take a step back every once in a while and ask ourselves if we're living this business by the same rules that we profess to perform our art by. In my personal life, I have tons of things that I'm failing at regularly. I have a baby at home that's like sleeping 7 hours during the day, and I think that's not supposed to happen. I think you're supposed to have them sleep at night because she's waking up for like huge periods of time at night. I'm organizing this conference, and we're a little bit behind on some of the programming for it. And all of these things I have to constantly reevaluate where the failure is and try to engage with it, try to make it something that I'm okay with so that I can keep moving forward. And I was thinking in preparation for this talk about all the stuff that I fail at, and what the big failures are that I've had in my life, and what would be a good thing to try to talk about. And the thing that kept coming back to me is weird and stupid, but it's been, I think, haunting me over the last couple of years. And it's the fact that I cannot dance in a social situation without feeling like a total idiot. Which is dumb, because I can get up on stage and do anything in front of people, because that's the right context for it, and it's fine. But if you put me at a party or a dance club or dance classes with my wife, all of a sudden I feel like I'm not good at it, that there's a right way to do it that I am not capable of, that I'm being judged by other people, that I'm judging myself, which I am, and that I don't have instincts that I can trust to just do that and have fun doing that. And it's terrible. People should be able to do that, but I'm not able to. So I think that's a big failure that I'm grappling with right now, you guys. I failed. So if we're looking at failure and we're trying to talk about what it really is fundamentally, it is that idea of risk. It's that idea that you want to put yourself in a situation, if you're going to get bigger, if you're going to grow, if you're going to get outside of your comfort zone and do anything you've never done before, you have to take that risk. And that failure is a marker of that risk. And we want to learn to celebrate that and get to the point where we actually enjoy that, where it's a sensation that we look forward to because it becomes a playful thing, because it becomes something that is exciting and still a little bit scary, but we know that the rewards are ultimately infinitely more powerful than whatever safety we think we're achieving by avoiding that failure. And I want to give you guys a little bit more chance to try some of that. So can I get everybody stand up with your partner again? And here's, actually, tell you what, I was wrong. Sit down. Nobody can see me when they're standing up. Brent, can I get you to come help me out? This is what's going to happen. You guys, with your partner, are going to share control so intimately that you're going to have to work just to put a sentence together back and forth, 2 words at a time. Cool?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So if we were just saying hello to you guys, I would say, hi, you.
Guys, how
Are you?
doing today?
We'd like.
A break.
So let's.
Try this
One more.
time, okay?
Just like that. Again, it's stupidly simple. Almost everything in improv is stupidly simple, but involves a little bit of that risk. There's a little bit of pressure around that. So now, everybody stand up with your partner, and you guys are just going to write a letter back and forth. It'll start off, Dear Mom. Dear Mom. Writing a letter with your partner, 2 words back and forth. It'll get loud, but that's okay. Just make sure you can hear your partner. And 30 seconds. Go for it. And freeze. Sign those letters. Give your partner a round of applause. And you guys can have a seat again. Maybe that worked out brilliantly for you. and maybe it fell apart a little bit in the middle. That's okay. If you feel like you fucked it up, take a failure bow later. Somebody will clap for you. Everyone here is trained. As you're leaving, walking back to the carport, did you guys hear the band on top of the? That was so fucking cool. Oh my god. Oh, and by the way, have you guys peeked through that little tiny crevice over here? If you haven't, go peek through there on your way out because it's Bass Concert Hall. Like it's right there. The entire thing. We're basically backstage. That's it. It's a creepy point of view, I think, ultimately. Yeah, so we do that. We have people make noises. We have people collaborate, share control. People put their arms through and play games where they're providing the arms for somebody else. Dumb things that, through the lens of risk and failure, become delightful and surprising. And things happen that we don't expect to happen. And it's not just on stage, it's everywhere. If you can crack that open a little bit, if you can make it an attitude that you have in your daily life, all of a sudden, surprising things will happen. There's a famous improv quote that people who avoid risk are rewarded with the safety that they achieve, and people that take the risks are rewarded with the adventures that they have. And safety is great in a lot of circumstances, but there's a lot to be said for adventure as well. So let's open ourselves up to it just a little if we can, and if we can give ourselves the tools to make that happen. And I think it's different for everybody. People have different levels of comfort with different things, so you have to figure out where your risk and failure lies and what you're interested in looking for and having as a more open, exciting thing. I guess I want to wrap up with this. I want to workshop something a little bit. So if I can't dance, I need to deal with it. It's time. It's been way too long. I'm going to resolve here today to make that happen, to get better at that. And I have a few things. So I've already taken a failure bow. You guys clapped. It's amazing. I've admitted my failure and my risk and the place that I need to move towards. And now I'm going to make a stupid game happen that'll help me out with that. So I need a little bit of help. And I know you, Nicole. Nicole, can you stand up? Nicole, I'll sing a little song. Nicole's going to dance just a little bit. And you guys are going to clap like crazy for Nicole. When Nicole feels like she's done dancing and being clapped for, she's going to point to somebody else in the audience. They're going to stand up and dance. So if you're afraid of dancing too, then this might get it done for the rest of you as well. And when they're done dancing, they'll point to somebody else. After 3 or 4, somebody will give it back to me, and I'll dance a little bit, and you guys will clap like crazy for me. You guys ready for this? I believe in miracles. Where you from, you sexy thing? I believe in miracles since you came along, you sexy thing. I can't dance with another. I can't dance with another. I'll never dance with another. Yeah! Oh, that actually feels pretty good, you guys. But it takes more than that. I'm not done, I'm sure. There's this ecstatic dance thing that happens on Sunday mornings. I don't know if you guys... Yeah, we have a representative right there. I guess you can ask her about it. So every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, they just get together and dance however the fuck they want. No judgment, no nothing. So I've committed myself to check that out sometime in the next month. So that's going to be my challenge, and I'll see, I guess, you there, maybe? Shit, now I'm accountable. And then there's also Tuesdays at Barbarella. You guys familiar with that? This guy knows. And that's a social dancing thing that people are judging the shit out of you at, I'm sure. And so I'm going to try to check that out as well. So I have a couple of things that I'm going to try to commit myself to. One more time with your partner, I'd love for you guys to stand up, check in with each other, and figure out what's one thing that over the next month you could commit yourself to that would be a little bit risky, and you might fail a little bit, but there might be a little bit of reward to it as well. With your partner, check in. What are you going to commit to for the next month? I'm committed. And hopefully you guys have figured out a couple things for yourselves. Go ahead and grab a seat. So I guess I'd just like to leave you guys with the fact that there's hope, that failure can be your friend, that you can change your relationship with failure if you want to. If you want to take the time, give yourself a couple tools, then you can change that relationship and make it something that is, it's a marker of you getting better at things, at you exploring new things. And I think that is absolutely worthwhile. Thank you guys so much. We're going to have a rock, paper, scissors tournament. Are you guys ready for this? And go!